Hey guys, welcome to my channel, The You in Fashion. Have you ever wondered where someone purchased their very first luxury handbag or how to start your handbag collection? Well, my name's Megan. I'm hoping to answer some of these questions for you to make that journey of finding your very first handbag a little bit easier and hopefully fun as it should be. On my channel, I'll be discussing fashion, luxury, handbags, and lifestyle. So if you're interested in any of those topics, please like and subscribe. And the goal of my channel is to help find the you in fashion, so hopefully we can figure out together how fashion works best for you and your lifestyle. That being said, I wanted to have my very first video be some tips to help you find your first designer handbag. I wanted to start with just a little bit of information about myself and my journey of finding my first designer handbag, and I'm going to end with a little bit of tips that I wish someone would have shared with me to hopefully make your journey a little bit easier in finding your first luxury purchase. So starting with my fashion journey, I would say that I really became interested in fashion in high school, and I worked at one of our local malls in a retail store, and I realized that I just loved pairing together different clothing options, and I felt like that was just a really great way of self-expression for me. And then I realized when I started pairing handbags along with it that just really brought the outfit together. And let's face it guys, at this point, I'm not talking designer handbags because I was still in high school at the time and had absolutely no money to spend on these things. So passing time a little bit forward into college, I went to school in the city and I felt like I was seeing these handbags everywhere, the Louis Vuittons, the Chanels, and I was like, oh my goodness, I would love to own one of these designer handbags. And I would say one of the turning points for me was I went to go visit my best friend, and he was in college at the time, and there was a luxury consignment shop close by where his dorms were, and to me that just really made it attainable to see that you could buy these items pre-loved and not have to kind of walk into these retail stores and purchase them at full price. After graduating college, I knew that my gift to myself was going to be purchasing my very first luxury handbag. So I returned back to that local consignment store and I just had a blast. I was able to try on, I was able to see what I really liked, feel comfortable in doing so, and that's when I purchased my first handbag, and I wore that everywhere. I loved it, and that's really what started my fashion journey. So now moving on to the tips as promised, my very first tip would be make the decision and move forward. And I know that that seems obvious, but when you don't have someone guiding you along and saying, yes, I think that this is a good idea, me personally, I started questioning myself, and I started asking myself, is this something, am I really going to spend this amount of money on a handbag? And for me personally, the answer was yes, and I was so glad I decided to move forward. So if you're interested in purchasing your first handbag, I would urge you to go ahead and move forward and start your collection. Second tip would be consider the classics and wait for what you want. So within each designer, they are going to have their classic style. So what I would do is go in, try on some of those styles, see what works for you and what best fits into your lifestyle so that you can make sure you choose your very first luxury handbag wisely. But again, having one of those classic styles are very important, and I'll talk about that in another video of which one I feel like within each designer would be a good first luxury handbag purchase. Third tip would be research cost. I know for me personally, I was not ready to splurge on my very first handbag. So what I did was I researched the bags I could afford. I went into a pre-loved market, and that's where I found my very first luxury handbag. But if you have the money, of course, buy your dream bag as your first bag. But I just want you to know that it's okay if you don't have the money right up front to splurge on that big purchase. It's okay to start on a more affordable option and then work your way up to that dream bag, maybe for your second or your third handbag. Fourth tip would be consider the condition of the handbag. I would look for your very first luxury handbag to be in very good, excellent, like new or new condition, especially if you're looking in the pre-loved market and aren't wanting to go into the boutique for purchasing your first handbag. So I really wanted to discuss condition because I want your very first luxury handbag to not go any lower than very good condition. So I wouldn't look at fair or poor if buying within the pre-loved market, because I wouldn't want you to have your first luxury handbag experience ruined because the handbag that you've received is not what you pictured it being because of the condition. So I know earlier I talked about researching cost and finding what you can afford at the time, but I wouldn't necessarily sacrifice the condition of the bag due to the cost. I would find what handbag matches the cost that I want and which handbag matches the condition I want, and I would move forward with that one. So final tip is, well, where do I go to buy my first luxury handbag? And I want to start with the boutiques. And of course, that's a great place to start. If you have the money and you have the resources to go into one of the stores and purchase the handbags at full price, then do it. Absolutely. And kind of talking a little bit about the secondhand or local consignment shops. Again, that's where I started and I love those as well. I would look for a consignment shop, of course, that does offer 100% authenticity of all of their items, along with being able to take it home and authenticate it yourself and offers a return policy if you realize it's not authentic. I do want to put in here that Real Authentication is the authentication service that I use and I really love them. Kind of third place is going to be the internet, of course. So I would start with a website like Fashion File. I love them. They offer guarantees, 100% authenticity on all of their items, along with a layaway plan. So if you want to split your payments over time, you have the flexibility to do that. They do a great job of detailing, very good value, excellent, and what makes those handbags fit into those categories. And finally, I will touch on the eBays, the Tradesy, the Poshmarks, which is when sellers sell their own personal items. And although I think that this can be good for the more advanced designer purchaser to kind of look at handbags that know what am I looking for to know if it's not authentic or not, then yes. But if this is your very first luxury handbag purchase, I would probably start with one of the other avenues I mentioned first. But if you are going to go with one of these websites, please, please, please make sure you purchase it under PayPal and your credit card so that you have protection in case you find out that it's not authentic. You can always turn back around and have these companies to help you get your money back, because I know personally the worst feeling was to want this handbag and have saved up for it and then to have been scammed and get a fake item. So anyway, that is all of my tips. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please join me next time. Comment down below on what your very first luxury handbag experience was like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.